everybody. So I would like to do a little more work on triangles. Some of it will be review, and then there's a nice sort of math/artwork to go with this. So I want to talk about triangles. So let's think, if you remember, what is the definition of a triangle? What is a triangle? So think about that for a moment. Okay, so a triangle is the simplest polygon. It has 3 sides. It has 3 vertices. It's 2-dimensional. That means it's flat. It's part of the plane. So we have different kinds of triangles. Triangles can be sorted into one of 3 types. The first type I'm going to talk about is the triangle with 3 equal sides. So those 3 sides are all equal in length. Do you remember what we call a triangle with all the 3 sides equal? An equilateral triangle. Equilateral. So that comes from Latin, equus meaning equal, and latus meaning sides. The next type of triangle we have is this one, and we're talking about the red sides. This has 2 red sides because they're equal, and this third side, in this case, is shorter. It could be longer. This is just one example of an isosceles triangle. The name isosceles comes from Greek isos, which means equal or balanced, and skelos, which means legs. Isosceles triangle. So even if you think of skelos like legs or skeleton or legs, you know you have 2, hopefully. So 2 sides the same. The third group that we can put our triangles in when we're sorting or classifying, in here you'll see that none of them are colored red because all 3 sides are different. They don't have any sides that are equal to each other. All 3 sides are different. Let's put this over here a little. Do you remember what we call triangles who have no sides, or which have no sides the same? We call them scalene triangles. Scalene. And the word scalene comes from Latin scalenos, which means unequal, none the same. So for those of you who've worked on this, this is fairly simple work, but it's important that you remember. The triangle that has no equal sides at all, it's unequal, is called a scalene triangle. This says if 2 of the sides of a triangle are equal, the figure is called an isosceles triangle. This kind of triangle has all its sides equal. We call it an equilateral. An equilateral. Equi even sounds like equal, doesn't it? An equilateral triangle. So again, a triangle is a polygon. It is the simplest of all polygons. It has 3 sides, 3 angles, 3 vertices. If you can't remember, think a tricycle has 3 wheels. Triangle. Tri means 3. So we're going to do an activity. I'm going to clean this up. And we're going to do a nice activity. I'm going to make mine fairly simple just for the sake of time, but you can spend as much time as you like making yours really nice. So what I did was I took my ruler and I just made a line segment. Now I'm going to make my line segment here. So the line segment is this dark straight line. I made a line segment right there. It doesn't have to be a particular length. Make it your own. A line segment has two end points. Remember we did parts of a line? One end point, two end points. It's the part of the line limited by the two end points. Now you might be wondering why my paper looks a little spotty. Well, I've put points. Remember in geometry and math, we don't call them dots or spots. We call them points. So I just put random points anywhere. I'm trying not to put them too much down here or here. I'm trying to put them above my line segment and below my line segment. And you might have guessed already what I did. I found my first point and I connected it to my end points and it made a triangle. So now I'm just going to pick another one. I'm going to pick, let's see if you can see, this point, and I'm going to connect it to my end point. See that there? And I'm going to connect it to the other end point of my line segment. So now I have two different triangles. That almost looks like an isosceles triangle. My first one was a scalene. The second one is isosceles. I didn't plan that. You don't have to plan it. You can make them any way you like. So now I'm going to find another point. I have one up here. I'm not sure if you can see that. And again, I'm going to connect that to my line segment, to the first point, and to the line segment end point. Oh, look, it overlaps my other one. That's kind of cool. So now I have this. And it doesn't matter. They don't have to overlap or anything. This is totally random. Every time you do it, you're going to get a very different design. So now I'm just going to connect that point to the beginning of my line segment and now to the end of my line segment. And now I have a design like this. And that one looked like another scalene triangle. I have a feeling most of mine are going to be scalene. And as I said, I'm not doing too many points just for the sake of time, but you can do as many as you like. So I've done all the points at the top above my line segment. There's my segment. You see the original segment here? And all I did was connect my dots, this one here, and then connect it to the end. This point here, I connected to that end point and to that end point. There was a point here, I connected it there, and I connected it there. Then I went to this point, I connected it there, and it happened to go on top of that one, and I connected it here. Then I had another one here, I connected, you see what I did? I'm going to do the same on the bottom, and I'm going to do it a little more quickly, so you don't have to wait for me. And I have another one here. Ooh, those are very close. So I'm just going to connect all my points. That's all I'm doing. And it's fun. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it doesn't matter. It's a fun geometry exploration, and I'm working on my triangles and creating a nice design. Okay, I'm finished with mine, and mine ended up looking like this. And every time you do it, it's probably going to take a different shape. You could even add points afterwards. Maybe you're like, oh, I wish I had some triangles down here. Well, add a point and connect them. I think I like one down here. So I made a point and I'm just going to connect it to my end points of my line segment. And you could keep going and you can end up with a very nice design. You see the end points here, and there's my original segment. Then basically what you're going to do, get out your good old coloring pencils and start filling in the sections. Each little section is a little place to color in. I have a lot of mini triangles in my sections. So I like to go around the edge first and then do the inside. It makes it a little easier to color. And you could do colors, make them solid colors, or you could be extra creative if you would like, and you could do stripes, you can do swirls, you can do all different things. I'm going to pick green next. I got the colors of the Irish flag here. And you can do any colors you like. I'm not going to have you sit and watch me color the whole thing. I'm just getting you started. You see what I'm doing? I'm coloring the different sections. And look at all the little tiny triangles created. Some of our smaller triangles here are cut with lines, and now we have a little rectangle-y thing there. So have fun, explore. There's no right or wrong. Just make sure you connect to the end points of your original line segment. I'm going to say goodbye and finish coloring. Bye.